For those who have served and for those who are willing to serve, the one thing we can do in the Congress is pass the two pieces of legislation necessary to support that service. You know, today, unlike World War II, unlike many past conflicts, less than 0.5% of the population serves in the military. So the other 99.5% need to stand up and do what we can to be sure that our military is the best supported military in the world. We never want an American soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, person in the Coast Guard, the National Guard, the reserves to be in a fair fight. We always want them to be in an unfair fight where they have advantages in that fight. And the only way you can ensure that they have those advantages is to have the training dollars, to have the equipment dollars, to have the command structure that allows that to happen. And so, you know, for 59 straight years, the Senate has passed the National Defense Authorization Act. This is the act that defines what the Congress believes should be the guiding principles for the military for that year, the places where money should be invested, the equipment that should be bought, the other changes that need to be made. And then the other bill we pass is the Appropriations bill that takes that authorization bill and really puts the money by it that allows it to happen. So for 59 straight years, the only authorization act we pass every year, and I think we could have a real good debate as to why that's the most important of what we do. It's the most important thing the federal government does. We've done that, but we can't seem to get it done this year. That bill that has the biggest pay raise for people in the military in a decade is somehow been being negotiated since roughly June the 27th of this year. This should have been a one-week effort, not a weeks and months efforts. That bill has money in it direction that encourages spouses. So when somebody is assigned to a new base, the spouse can go to work doing what they do as quick as they could possibly do it, facilitating and expediting state certification. We just had our first military spouse sworn in as a member of the Missouri Bar in January. Her husband had come to take a command position at Fort Leonard Wood. The first week she was in Missouri, she was able to be sworn in to the Missouri Bar and go to work. And whether it's a therapist or a teacher or a truck driver or an electrician or an engineer or a welder, if you've got those skills and you've followed your spouse to a new assignment, we should make that a top priority. So that's what happens in these bills. It supports the Readiness Center in Springfield, Missouri. It supports the Vehicle Maintenance Facility at Whiteman Air Force Base, the C-130 flight simulator in Rosecrans. All those things we've decided as a Senate need to happen. Now we need to decide as a Senate and a Congress how to make them happen. Whether it's 24 FA-18 Super Hornets the Navy wants that will be built in St. Louis, Missouri, or 15 F-15s for the Air Force, these things don't happen unless they're authorized. Let's get them authorized. Let's appropriate the money. We're already weeks late. We don't need to be months late. Better to have the money the day you're supposed to have it if you're going to spend it as wisely as we'd hope you'd be able to spend it. So I join my colleagues today, and I know you, Mr. President, saying that we need to get this work done. It's critical, it's a priority, and I'm glad to join my colleagues here on the floor fighting for those who fight for us.